are going to study unit number 6, tools and techniques of research. And if you do not have notes, you can take these notes from Allama Iqbal Open University online, going to their website, and you can have this subject notes. So let's begin this chapter. Number 1, objectives. After reading this unit, you can be able to, number 1, explain various tools used for collecting of data for your research study. Decide what type of instruments would be appropriate for your study. Number 3, differentiate between different type of tools. Number 4, understand the advantages and disadvantages of various techniques. Number 5, choose an appropriate psychological test for use in your research study. Number 1, we are going to study about introduction. In introduction, in this unit there are 4 types of tools research mostly frequently used in the behavior of research have been discussed. Questionnaires, interviewers, observations, tests, and appraisers instruments. It is needed to emphasize that each of above tools employ distinctive way of describing and quantify the data. Students must be need to understand what is questionnaires. A questionnaire is a set of careful selection and order questions prepared for and investigating to seek for failure information from the respondents or to find their opinion, attitude or interest. Some authors restrict the use of the word questionnaires to a set of questions selecting factual information where whatever those seeking options are called opinions, and those deals with attitude of the respondent are called attitude scale. However, it is generally agreed that isolated specific questions for the conditions of the respondent trend to intensively standardize their observations. For this, first we going to consider forms of questionnaires. So first is classic closed form, in which yes and no or do not know comes as an option. Then we have open form, in which why do you choose do your MA in EPS in the some survey kind of question, in which yes or no can become. The third is pictorial form. The fifth is given a scale items, in which strongly agree, undecided, disagree, and strongly disagree comes. The second is construction of questionnaire. In this frame of questions, ordering of question, design, the direction and format, allocating honest replies comes in. After this, criteria of questions written come is in first is the question related to the research problem and the research objective. Number 3 is the question right and appropriate. Is the question clear and unambiguous? And number 4 is the question suggestive comes up. Another is does the question demand knowledge and information that the respondent does not have? Does the question demand personal or delicate material that the respondent may not lie to others? Another, students we going to understand administration of the questionnaires. In this, direct, contract, mailed questionnaires comes. After this, we study about steps for better respondents through questionnaires. In this, choose respondent carefully. Be sure the including the courteous, carefully constructed cover letter to explain the purpose of the study comes in. After this, if the desired information is declared or immediate in the nature concern, the possibility of the provide for the antimina respondent for follow-up procedure. After this, use of questionnaires come. The following are some of them. They are often used to design and maintain respondent, and thus respondents are their respondents will be used to against will be respondent the greater honesty than that might be otherwise be case used must be. So, and in the limitation of the questionnaires, the respondent may not be truthful to or accurate or the error because of the misinterpretation of the question or does not understand the attitude, feeling or action of the enormous of the answer and questionnaires. In the mailing of questionnaires give the lower rate of the respondent position and weightage. In Pakistan, low rate is between 40 to 60. Students, now we're going to study about opinion and attitude scale. As a set of questionnaire attempts to measure the attitude or behavior of an individual is called an opinion or an attitude scale. In this, number first is interview comes. Many people are more willing to communicate information verbally than the written, and therefore will be provided the data more readily and fully in the interview. Whereas in this, the purpose of the interview, it can be used to explore the device to help to identify various and related to the suggestion, hypothesis and guide the other phases of research. Number two is type of interviews. In this, the first is individual and group interview. Number second is structured or standardized interview. Number three is unstructured and unstandardized interview. Number four is non-direction independent interview. After this, there is focus interview, and after this, condition of an interview in which there are preparation for interview, elaboration, reports and recording interviews, in which the other interview section will become the interviews as a data gathering tool. In this, the interview has a unique advantages and the data gathering technique in the area where the human motivation as relevant in the reason for action, feeling and attitude is to study. Interview is, however, time consuming and difficult method to employ yourself. To damage of interviewer bias is constant. Since the objective sensitivity of the insight of the interviewer is casual, the procedure is one of the required level of actually not ordinarily possible for in experimental research. The next, students, we are going to study about observations. As a data gathering device, direct observation may be made is an important contribution to descriptive research. Observation may be direct or indirect, scheduled or unscheduled, and known or unknown. A more normal view of the activities may be observed from the unknown, unscheduled, direct observations such as through one-way view glass. People are known as committed minor criminal in order to get a true picture of present condition. Students, now we're going to study about testing and appraisal instrument. In this, the classification of test come, in which the individual can do what an individual will do, in which the achievement test, aptitude test, personality tests. In personality test, we have personal questionnaires are asked, and after this the projective technique is used to study, and after this students, we are going to study about how to choose the test for user use. In this, the step in the construction of standardization test is be taken. Quality of good test is taken, standardization, reliability and validity is being taken. In conclusion remarks, you have just completed the unit which briefly outlined the major categories of tools and techniques frequently used by researchers. You may realize that this unit has essentially surveyed the most common use of techniques, leaving out a number of the other tools and techniques. The important thing is that you should be consuming the need to choose the data collection tools and approaches for the type of the data need to be studied. Your effort research would be greatly depend upon the correct choice of the data gathering tool. Researcher can be used to design the tools meet the requirements. So thank you students, hope you understand this chapter, and let's we meet in next chapter. So bye bye from my side.